Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 9 of the Nina Blanco Podcast. Thanks for listening. Look at me, 2 in a row. We did it! It's also Breakfast Burrito Friday, so let's play it. You know what it is. It's Breakfast Burrito Friday! Get your burrito! Get your breakfast burrito! It's Breakfast Burrito Friday! Get your breakfast burrito! It's Breakfast Burrito Friday! Happy Friday. Hopefully you are enjoying a breakfast burrito to just take it in. We made it through the week. We made it through Thanksgiving. Yeah, I ended up hosting Thanksgiving for my aunt and uncle that live in Colorado. They are redoing their floors in their house. So their house is like a construction mess right now. And they asked the boy and I like, hey, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? And we were like, nothing, because we're going on vacation on Saturday. And they were like, cool. And then the next day she was like, so can we come over for Thanksgiving? And we were like, I can't say no. You can't say no, right? I mean, they're a little bit older. They're not doing anything. Their house is a mess right now. So, of course, you can come over for Thanksgiving reluctantly. I mean, it was fine. It's probably going to be fine. I'm quite honestly recording this before it all happens, but I know it's going to be fine. I mean, we love them. We welcome them into our home. Of course, we're going to take them in for Thanksgiving, but I also was looking forward to not doing anything for Thanksgiving, and then all of a sudden, boom, we are hosting. So I got to cook a turkey, the whole thing. I got a couple sides. She's bringing over, she's very Italian, going to bring over some lasagna and some wine and stuff. And it'll be good. I'm sure it went just fine. But yeah, I was not looking forward to doing Thanksgiving, and we ended up having to do it, and I'm sure it's all gonna be great because, like I said, I'm recording this before, but yeah. And then I'm going on vacation. The boy, oh my gosh, maybe I should just call him the boy because it comes out naturally now when I'm on this podcast. I don't know, the boy, my husband, Matt, Mateo, whatever, he and I are going on a little Mexico vacation. We are jetting out on Saturday, and we're going to be gone for just a couple days. We're going to go to Cancun area. We're going to go to Isla Mujeres. A lot of people have been to that little island. It's just off the coast of Cancun, and it's beautiful. The boy and I, we've been there for a couple times before, and we're actually going to be staying at a new hotel that we've never stayed at before. It's a little boutique, family-owned hotel that once upon a time, we were going to get married in Mexico, and we thought about getting married and staying at this hotel. And so instead, years down the road, that never happened, and let's just go stay at the hotel we had talked about staying at for our wedding once upon a time for just this cute little quickie vacation. So that is what we're going to do. I am so freaking excited, and I can't wait for a little bit of beach time. But anyway, this episode of the podcast, I wanted to talk about some pretty major stories and some major celebrities in 2024. And I know I'm kind of late to all of this, and I'm sure you've heard many different angles and you've hashed it out yourself with friends and family and just talking about it in general. But I love celebrity stuff and I love to talk about it, and I haven't because I did not keep up with the podcast this summer. So we're going to talk about it. So I know I'm late, but let's talk about JoJo Siwa. JoJo Siwa. I was rooting for you. Okay, so freaking JoJo Siwa. okay, I really was. I was so excited for her. I was rooting for her when she first came out. She came out a while ago. It's been years now. Since 2021, she was 17. And yes, I did some research on all of these stories ahead of time, so I know more details than I probably should. But she was 17 when she came out. It was in 2021. And I was like, good for you, JoJo Siwa. Like, it's important she's a celebrity, right? And she's young. And the fact that she came out at 17 is really, really brave. There are adults who are still not out yet. And, they could be in their 20s and 30s and so on. And so it's just really important. And I think it's a positive thing to see young gays who have influence in the world, come out and do things and talk about it. And so I just think that that's important. And so she came out when she was 17 years old in 2021. And I was like, wow, look at you, girlfriend. Like, good for you. That is awesome. And I was like, I could see it. Yeah, JoJo. And then she spent the next couple of years, dating girls and exploring her sexuality. And, she's 17, 18, 19 years old. And like, she's going through these relationships, and all of her relationships were so freaking cringe. Don't get me wrong. But that is also very typical of a 17, 18, 19-year-old who are in relationships for the first time, in serious relationships, and having sleepovers and maybe having sex. And, who knows? It's not necessarily about the sex, but it's just about, discovering who you are and getting into these new relationships as an adult. And I thought just good for her. Good for you, JoJo Siwa. I love that for you. I want you to be a positive gay. This is good, right? Then fast forward to 2024 and her music career. So JoJo Siwa has always kind of been interested in a music career. She's done the whole dancing thing since she was a kid. Friggin' Dance Moms. Okay, she was on Dance Moms. I watched the whole thing. It was great. And I thought she was always really talented little girl, in terms of dancing. She was really, really good. And then they try to introduce all the girls into doing like music here and there. And I was like, okay, uninterested. And then the show quickly went under afterwards because of all the abuse and Abby and everything and whatever. So with JoJo, she's always kind of been interested in doing the music stuff, and she did. And then she launched her own career. She was very successful. Nickelodeon, the whole thing. She had these little songs, but like you could tell, she does not have a very strong singing voice. She has never been a strong singer, okay? She relied heavily on the auto-tune, okay? She did, and that's fine because she was successful at it, and it was like a kid thing, and so that was acceptable, and it was fine. But as an adult, JoJo Siwa, if you can't sing, do not try to launch a singing career, babes. Just don't do that. And that's exactly what she tried to do. On top of that, oh my God, she's like, I want to create a new genre of music. I want to call it gay pop. Bitch, please. Like, that's never been done before. Please, bitch. Like, little girl, sit down. Okay, at this point, people are getting frustrated, and it's just like, little girl, sit your ass down. Okay, you're out, you're proud, you're dating, you're doing all this stuff. That's great. You're a lesbian. Fuck men, fuck penises, whatever. Okay, but this whole gay pop thing and thinking that you're inventing gay pop when all the greats before you have been doing gay pop, like, honey, no, sit down. You're making yourself look stupid. So then everyone kind of turned against her the second that she came out with that. And she's very cocky. She's a very cocky individual. It's just, think about the way she grew up. She always had everything, and she was always successful at everything. So yeah, you're going to get a little bit cocky. I don't necessarily blame her for that because it was just how her life has gone so far. And she is a very cocky individual. And just with this whole gay pop thing, she learned real quick. The gays were like, nah, bitch. So JoJo Siwa with the whole gay pop thing, and then her dancing to Karma's a bitch. And she looks like she's seizing, and it was just hilarious because everyone was just making fun of her at that point. And like, part of me feels bad. We shouldn't be bullying her. But also part of me is like, well, she's a cocky bitch, so she was asking for this. So I just, like, JoJo Siwa, sit down. I love you, girlfriend, but sit down. She just released a new single, and she's like, I'm gonna get in trouble for releasing this, but I think it's worth it, and I'm gonna, whatever. JoJo, shut up. It's all an act. We can see right through it. Stop it. Stop. Just be gay. It's okay. You can perform at some pride fest, I guess, or whatever, but like just be gay and cool. Like you need to really rework your image in terms of this whole music thing. Like you need to stop with the music, quite frankly. Create TikTok dances. Do that. Stick with the dancing, okay, babes? The singing, it's just not happening. Lip sync, you can do dances to other actual really good gay pop songs. How about that, babes? But stop singing. Please stop singing. The next one, I know I'm late, but let's talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So a lot of people hate Gypsy Rose. I am not one of those people. I love Gypsy Rose. I have followed her story for a really long time, ever since like everything was really, really happening when she was younger and she killed her mom. And I remember it in the news and stuff. I was like, holy shit. And then they came out with the Hulu show. What was that, during 2020 or was that during COVID? They came out with a Hulu show about her life and how her mom kept her in a wheelchair and had all these unnecessary operations and like how she grew up and the whole thing. And it was really, really good. And I really enjoyed that TV show. She was in jail at the time and she was like, I do not love any of this. I never gave permission for any of that. And she was not a fan of Hulu doing that show. But at the same time, it really, really kind of pushed her celebrity forward. And at the end of the day, I think it did her a favor because then she gets out of jail. Okay, she gets out of jail and TLC, they're doing all these specials. They interview her behind bars. They interview her. They follow her with cameras as she's getting released from jail. She is married at this point and her life is just all over the place. And people online were pissed. Listen, I get it. And people are like, we shouldn't make this criminal a celebrity. And yes, at the end of the day, she definitely helped plot her mother's death. But that poor girl has lived a life that I don't think anyone in this world can imagine living that life. It's terrible. It's tragic. It is sad. I mean, all of it. And she did not grow up living a normal life. And so she's never going to be normal. She just doesn't have that in her because of the very tragic, terrible life that she's had to live. So she's never going to navigate life normally. She just won't. I think that she's going to try to get as close to normal as she possibly can. She's a huge advocate for therapy. She's a huge advocate for, there's a right way, there's a wrong way. I did things the wrong way and I admit to that. And so I think that part of it is good. But there are a lot of people on the internet who are very anti-Gypsy Rose because at the end of the day, they're like, she's a murderer. And it's like, well, yes, but she was in a very, very difficult situation. But, let's see what she'll do now. And she is using her platform, I think, for good. She's advocating for a lot of good things. And, she sees all those hate comments. She sometimes gets a little wild and replies to it. And it's like, Gypsy Rose, baby, no. No. But you have to ignore it. But, she's going to do what she's going to do. And so fast forward to getting out of jail. She's married to, what's his face? She's married to Ryan and she gets out of jail. I watched the whole TLC, those episodes. They followed her with cameras. She had her own reality TV show. She met Kim Kardashian, the whole thing, but she got out of jail. And at this point, listen, she is an adult. She is going through all this criticism and she just wants to live a normal life. And at the end of the day, this poor girl just wants to be loved. She just wants to be loved, okay? She wanted to be loved by her mother. She did everything her mom told her to when she knew it was wrong. But that is how her mom showed her love when she would do these things to get money and to con people out of stuff through her illnesses that were not real. And so this girl, she just wants to be loved, okay? And that has been very adamant through her time in prison, going through different relationships, getting engaged, getting another relationship after that first engagement fell through with her ex Ken that she is now with again. And then she got married to Ryan and Ryan wanted to love her and to have a family with her and the whole thing, but her heart belonged to her first fiance, Ken, and he knew he messed up and it was the whole thing. And then she divorced Ryan and she got with Ken and they are engaged and she got pregnant and the whole thing. And so it is messy. It is very messy. I'm not going to lie. Baby girl, it is messy, Gypsy Rose. But again, she doesn't know how to navigate a normal freaking life. All she wants is a husband. All she wants is a family. She wants her own child to love her. And that's what she wants. And so she's navigating it very poorly, but she never had a very good vision of like what that looks like. She never had a good idol to look up to of like what is love, what is a family. It's never been normal for her. So it's not going to be normal for her now. She's trying her best. As I said, she's going to try and navigate her life as normally as possible. But I mean, sometimes it's not going to ever really be normal, but this is what she's trying to do. But I am very pro Gypsy Rose. I don't see a problem. She's been a little bit more quiet, I guess, on social media. She just did the whole paternity test because the internet more so had stuff to say about who's the father, and it was you divorced one guy, immediately got back with another guy. There was no space in between. And like, I agree, maybe she should just be single. But again, she's always just craved for someone to love her whole life. And so of course that's going to continue on. I mean, hopefully therapy will help with that and she will continue to navigate that. But at the end of the day, listen, she's having a baby right now, okay, with a man that she does love. I believe she loves her ex, Ken. They were exes and then she got married to someone else and then they got back together. And now she's pregnant with him and they're engaged. So like, just let her do her thing. But a lot of people are very mad about Gypsy Rose. Part of me gets it, but also part of me is like, dude, she's lived a very hard life. So leave Gypsy alone. Dude, I know I'm late, but let's talk about the Cyrus Family Drama. If you don't know about the Cyrus Family Drama right now, oh my gosh, strap in. You are in for a freaking ride. Okay, so this started in 2022. 2022, Tish and Billy Ray, the parents, they get divorced. And this divorce, quite frankly, is a long time coming. I believe Tish has filed for divorce 2 times previously, as early as 2010. And finally, in 2022, it happens. We're done. A full divorce. We're good. And so they divorce, and immediately all of their adult children, by the way, everyone is an adult, all of their adult children immediately pick sides. Red flags. Come on, you guys. You guys are adults. And like, I know it's never fun or a good thing necessarily that when you see like, oh, my parents are getting divorced. And it's hard, but as adults, you should be able to see that like, hey, mom and dad aren't happy. Hey, mom and dad have filed for divorce twice before and they stayed together because the kids were younger. And now that we are all grown adults, we should maybe think logically about this and maybe think that, hey, it's probably best that mom and dad get divorced because they've tried to do this before and it's time. But no, instead, they all picked a side right off the bat. So red flags everywhere. It was bad from the get. Billy Ray is a typical freaking dude and he moves on way too fast with some chick. I don't even know her name. I don't care. It was like Fire Rose or some shit like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter because they got together super quick. They got married super quick and then they got divorced super quick and she took a bunch of his money. I mean, like, what an idiot. I mean, that's just such a typical man thing to do. Sorry to all the men who are listening right now, but like, y'all are stupid sometimes. And so he just had his blinders on and just wanted, I'm sure what it was like a competition because the family's already divided at this point. And so I'm sure Billy Ray was like, well, let me get my happy ending first. Forget Tish. She's the one who did this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get my happy ending and I'm going to marry this hot bitch. And then it didn't work out because that's not how love works. You can't just rush it. It doesn't work that way. Then a little bit of time goes on and Billy Ray's already divorced and then Tish now is getting married. She's getting married to an actor. His name is Dominic Purcell, I think. I don't know. But he's an actor and he was on Prison Break like forever ago. I don't even know where this guy has been since then. But yeah, Dominic. But she marries Dominic in a cute little backyard Malibu wedding. It was in Miley Cyrus's Malibu home backyard. And after seeing all the pictures, because they posted about it, we realized there's a few kids missing because they have a lot of kids. And there's 2 of them that are not at Tish's wedding. And it is Noah Cyrus and her younger brother. What's his name? Brayson. So Noah and Brayson are missing from this wedding. And it's pretty apparent that they're not there. And so people are like wondering what's going on. And then the news breaks that Noah Cyrus was friends with benefits with her new stepdad. Ew! Okay, so here's the thing is, these are all rumors. These are all things that I've read online. But a lot of these things came from sources. Sources say, a friend close to the family says, but none of the family has actually really said outwardly what has gone on. So, sure, take this with a grain of salt. Doesn't mean it's all necessarily true. But this is what I've read, and this is what I believe. Tish knew that her new husband had sex with her youngest daughter. Before she married him, she knew about their relationship. And their relationship, it was never a serious relationship. It was never even boyfriend, girlfriend. It was literally friends with benefits. It was, hey, we're going to casually sleep together sometimes. And she still decided, well, I'm going to date this guy for a little while. And, well, I think I'm going to marry this guy, even though he's had sex with my daughter before. Like, what? That's just so crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I understand that we all need happiness. We all deserve happiness. We all crave love. That is a very natural human instinct. But, like, bitch, you just got divorced, okay? There's plenty of fish in the sea. Why you gotta marry the one that had sex with your daughter? That was, like, currently having sex with your daughter. Like, it's crazy to me. And so that shit just does not make sense to me in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, it didn't make sense to Noah either, because she was not at the wedding. She was like, fuck that, this is crazy. And so she chose, when I said, like, the kids picked a side when the parents got divorced, she was always on her dad's side. And then this just really solidified that. She was like, screw my mom. My ex already is. This is crazy. No. Tish knew that she was going to marry her daughter's sex partner, which is crazy. Supposedly, Miley Cyrus didn't know about this at all, even when Tish married this guy. Supposedly, Miley never knew that her new stepdad has had sex with her sister before and was friends with benefits. And she had no idea. She just thought her sister was, like, being dramatic. She's just mad that, like, our parents are divorcing. Like, she'll get over it eventually, blah, 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 blah. But, like, Miley apparently didn't know all the drama, and then she learned afterwards and probably thought it was still weird, but, like, she just wants her mom to be happy, and, like, I understand that, but also, ew, that's fucking weird, dude. So as of right now, I guess the family is more back together. Noah posted a, like, happy birthday mom post, and so I guess they're trying to repair their relationship. All the meanwhile, like, she's probably sucked her new stepdad's pee-pee before. Like, what? Oh, it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but it's just the Cyrus family, dude. That's weird, bro. I know I'm late, but let's talk about Diddy. Oh, gosh, this one's going to be short because I don't really want to talk about it all that much. So let's talk about Diddy. He's next. He's the next R. Kelly. I mean, when the whole R. Kelly stuff came out a couple years ago, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. But, like, you know, the signs were there, right? The signs were there. And so R. Kelly went down, and then I'm sure P. Diddy was pissing his pants at that point because he knew he was next. And then now here he is. He's next. And so all these cases, these lawsuits, all of it, he's in jail right now, just like awaiting trial, but he has been accused of throwing these crazy weird sex parties with, like, children, and, like, all sorts of crazy stories are coming out of it. And quite frankly, I say, you know, like, good, you know, get these monsters out of here, throw them all in jail, make an example of them, throw them all in jail. You're disgusting. You're a piece of shit. Like, the second that it crosses over with children, and beyond that, drugging people and then having sex with their drugged out bodies, like, what? It's just crazy. It's just disgusting. Throw them all in jail. I hope everyone who has been a part of this shit just goes to jail. And listen, I am a huge Beyonce fan. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Beyonce fan. And if Jay-Z's gotta go, then Jay-Z's gotta go. I'm looking forward to the new chapter in Beyonce's life where maybe she and Jay-Z aren't together anymore. Maybe Jay-Z, he was a big part of this stuff. We'll see. There's rumors about it. I don't know. But if the rumors are true, if there is evidence against him, then he deserves to be in jail. Quite frankly, I understand that he's the husband and father of Beyonce's children and her whole life partner. But it is what it is. And if he was a part of that and he needs to go to jail, then he needs to go to jail. Okay? So I said what I said. It is what it is. If Jay-Z's part of it, then he's part of it. Throw them all in fucking jail. That's disgusting. So there's no one who should be walking these streets as millionaires, hanging out in their mansions when once upon a time they did this shit. Throw them all in jail. I don't care. Okay, I know I'm late, but let's talk about Ariana Grande dating Ethan Slater, aka SpongeBob. Like SpongeBob? SpongeBob? Girl, you're Ariana Grande. What are you doing? Okay. So Ariana Grande, she gets the role in Wicked. She meets Ethan Slater on set. He's like one of the munchkins. I don't know. And then Ariana Grande ends up dating him. But the problem is they're both married. They're married at this point. And Ariana Grande, she's not happy in her marriage. I think at this point they've already like, yeah, we're splitting up, whatever. That part of it is fine. But that's not necessarily the case, at least we don't think, for Ethan Slater. Okay, he married his high school sweetheart. He and his high school sweetheart just had their first child. And then all of a sudden he gets this role and he's dating Ariana Grande. And in her song, whatever fucking song that was, like, why do you care whose dick I ride? Because he's married, bitch. Because he's married, Ariana Grande. He is married and just had a child with his high school sweetheart. That's why people care. But Ariana Grande came out to say, I forget the quote exactly, but she basically said, my situation with Ethan Slater is not the worst version of what everyone is thinking. Saying that, you know, maybe he wasn't happily married. Maybe they were already in the process of splitting up. And that's the part that people don't know about. And it's not as like terrible as everyone is saying. I'm not a homewrecker, blah, blah, blah. That's what she is claiming. But like, we're never going to know. All we know is it was his high school sweetheart. They were together for a really long time and they just had a baby. Okay, that was a newborn. Ariana Grande went to dinner with Ethan Slater and his wife and their newborn. And Ariana Grande was holding their newborn at dinner. All the meanwhile, she was what? Fucking him? Bitch! So, I don't know. She claims it's not the worst version that everyone is thinking, but at the same time, like, that picture is out there. Ariana Grande at dinner with the wife and the baby and the whole thing. And so, like, the wife is not cool with it because after their relationship became public, the wife spoke out, like, this is fucked up. And so, like, what version is it? So, I would like to know the version in Ariana Grande's mind. But, you know, at the same time, listen, when it was all happening, yeah, it was super fucked up. And I still think it's kind of fucked up. But now it's like everyone's divorced. They're choosing to be together. They just moved in together, an apartment in New York, whatever. But yeah, they just moved in together. Everyone is divorced at this point. So I'm like, I guess more okay with it. But also the way it started was not cool at all. So who knows? And this last part, I'm not really late, but let's talk about the Wizard of Oz curse. And people think that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are going through a curse of their own that kind of has to do with the Wizard of Oz. Now, this is very conspiracy laced. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so take all of this with a grain of salt. But I saw it on TikTok and then it all started making sense to me. But I am a little conspiracy theorist of myself. So again, take it with a grain of salt. But there is a curse surrounding the story of the Wizard of Oz, supposedly, okay, from way back in the day when they were first filming the movie of Wizard of Oz, and there was a lot of terrible things that happened on set. There were a lot of poor choices made with the costume design, lead paint being painted on people. People got cancer, people got sick from it, people died from it, asbestos being used for the snow scene. Like, that will kill you. And so a lot of poor choices made on the original set of The Wizard of Oz. There was that whole thing of like one of the munchkins, I guess, like hanged himself, and you can see it in the movie. I saw it. I seen it. Okay, it's there. It's in the movie. You can see it. It's crazy. And so there's this like long-standing folktale of a curse surrounding The Wizard of Oz. And Wicked being a part of the Wizard of Oz story, it is kind of like engulfed into this curse as well. And so currently with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, they are rumored to be under this curse right now. Ariana Grande is being compared to a woman named Karen Carpenter. She was one of the singers in the band, The Carpenters, from back in the day. And she was anorexic nearly her whole life. And she was also in the spotlight. She was also a celebrity. She was also touring. She was also performing all the time. She was also around a lot of people that saw her slowly deteriorate. And she died at the age of 32 from heart failure due to her anorexia. And people are comparing Ariana Grande to Karen Carpenter. The weight loss with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, for that matter, it's pretty apparent. You can see it. From when they first started filming to where they're at now in all of their interviews, looking at photos, they were already snatched. They were already looking good, honey. There was no reason to lose any sort of weight at all. You had no weight to lose. And yet they still found whatever weight to lose. Who knows? It is a rumor that Ariana Grande could be anorexic. Just her body has definitely changed. She's looking a little skeleton-y for sure. Same with Cynthia Erivo. Same thing. The before and after pictures of her currently and when she first started filming Wicked, she has lost a lot of weight. And she and Ariana Grande are very, very close. You see it in interviews. They're really, really close. You can tell they're best friends, which is great. You know, we love a friendship, right? It's better than the opposite. But there's also something to be said in a lot of cases with eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, stuff like that. Girls will find other girls who are going through the same thing, and they'll encourage each other. They will become best friends. They are the only one who knows their little secret. You know, maybe they're in on it. And so I just kind of get the vibe a little bit that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, like, maybe they're in on it together. I don't know. Again, it's a rumor. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It is their body. You know, how much should we be talking about it? But at the same time, in the case of Karen Carpenter, no one was talking about it. No one was helping her. And then she died at 32 from heart failure. So maybe it should be talked about just a little bit. It is something that is throughout the United States with a lot of women, a lot of girls. They go through anorexia, they go through bulimia, they go through eating disorders, and they feel so alone because no one really talks about it. So perhaps it should be talked about. I don't know, but supposedly it's a total TikTok conspiracy. But I'm a little bit. It just raised my eyebrows. Okay, it raised my eyebrows that, like, is Ariana Grande going down this dark spiral of anorexia? Is Cynthia Erivo? Is she as well? Because they are both very, very thin, which there's nothing wrong with being thin at all. But they're looking like a skeleton. You can see their bones. And so it's a bit much. It's just a bit much. And there's some concern. It's more concern out of anything. So there's concern out there for Ariana Grande and for Cynthia Erivo and for anyone who is battling any sort of eating disorder, body image issues. I mean, I just hope that you know that there are people out there that can help you, that do notice, that do care. And I hope that you get the help that you can, because it's serious. You know, dying at 32 from heart failure because of anorexia complications, it's wild, and it happens all too often. So get the help you need if you need it. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, I hope I'm wrong. Again, this is just my own. I saw a thing on TikTok and I thought maybe, because it kind of makes sense. I hope I'm wrong. But I am happy for everyone in the success. Oh my God, I couldn't say it. Sorry. In the success of Wicked. It has just gotten so many great reviews. They put a lot of work into it, and I have not seen it yet, but I wish them well in all of their success. The second movie is going to be coming out, next year, which is awesome. So we'll see how everything goes, but I just hope that they're healthy and taking care of themselves. So I know I was a little bit late talking about JoJo Siwa and Gypsy Rose Blanchard and the Cyrus Family Drama and Diddy and Ariana Grande dating SpongeBob and the Wizard of Oz curse and all of that. But, we got it done here today on the Nina Blanco podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I feel like playing the Breakfast Burrito Friday song twice in an episode is a bit much. So if you want to hear it again, you just, you go to the front of the episode. But I love you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.